Greetings, and in this short video presentation, we're going to see how we go about creating a permanent alias in Fedora Linux. The alias command is left over from Unix, but it also works in DOS, earlier versions of Windows, and most recently in PowerShell. The alias command can be issued to replace a common command with a shorter word. An example would be the command sudo space dnf space -y space update. Could be shortened to sysupdate using the alias command. Unless the command is made permanent, the changes will be lost when the machine restarts or the unalias command is issued. In this short presentation, we'll be demonstrating how to take an alias command and make it permanent. In my terminal, I've typed in sudo space dnf space -y space update, and I would like to be able to shorten this to a single word, and that's what we're going to do next. To begin this process, we're going to need to edit the .bashrc file. Now, my editor of choice is Nano, but you're free to use any editor you want. So I've typed in nano space dot or period bashrc. I'm going to hit enter. That brings up the contents of the bashrc file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my down arrow, and I'm going to come down here to the line where it says alias space sysupdate equals, in single quote, sudo space dnf space -y space update. This is what you need to type into your bashrc file for this to work. Once you've got the command situated inside of the bashrc file, you can go ahead and hit Control X, do a Y, and then you can just hit enter, exit, and you'll be back to the terminal. Now, the last thing we need to do before we can see if this alias command is permanent is restart the machine. When we come back up, we'll open up a terminal and we'll type in sysupdate and we'll see what happens. My Fedora server has rebooted. I'm back up. I have a terminal and I've typed in the command sysupdate. And if I hit enter, give it just a second, it's going to go out and it's going to communicate with the repositories for my Fedora updates. And we can see that my sysupdate command did work as an alias for the longer command. If you can think of a command that you use repeatedly, and let's say that command contains 3 or 4 more words, you may want to think about creating an alias to shorten it down just to one word, and that way you can get your work done much quicker up inside of the terminal. I'm now going to go back inside of the bashrc file and I'm going to add some more aliases. To do this, I'm just going to use my up arrow until I come to the previous command I typed in for nano space period bashrc. I'm going to hit enter. That brings me back up inside of the file for bashrc. I'm going to use my down arrow. And I'm going to go to this last line here with the pound sign that is commented out. I'm going to hit enter one time. I'm going to use my up arrow and come to the next available line. Now, the next alias I want to create is for the ping command. So unless I do a Control-C to break the sequence, the ping command just rolls on uninterrupted. But I can use the ping command and create a permanent alias and tell it to cease after 5 echo requests. The next alias I want to create is for netstat. So I've typed in alias space ports. So if I type in ports, I'm going to be running the netstat space -tulamp command. One command that I use a lot is the clear command. So I can create an alias using just the letter C to represent the clear command. So I've gone ahead and created my alias, and now we're ready to go ahead, save our changes, and then we can reboot and come back up and test our new alias commands up inside of the bashrc file. So I'm going to go ahead, hit Control X, I'm going to type in Y, and then I'm just going to hit enter. Brings me back to my prompt where I'm going to type in reboot, and in just a moment we'll be back up and we'll give those new aliases a test run. We're back up to my desktop and I've opened up a terminal, and the first thing we're going to check out is the ping command. I use this a lot, as we all do. And I've typed in ping, and I'm going to ping Google. Let's see if it stops after 5 times. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and let's see what happens here. There's 3, 4, there's 5. So it did work. So now, next command we're going to look at is the ports command, and this is the command that we created as an alias for the netstat. And we see that that also works. The next command I want to type in is just the letter C, and this represents an alias for clear. And it clears my terminal. So while I have my terminal open, I'm going to go ahead and type in sysupdate and finish updating and upgrading my version of Fedora server. So in this short video presentation, we got to see how we go about creating an alias and making it permanent up inside of either our Fedora workstation or our server. So if you have any questions or you have any concerns about the contents of this video, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact your instructor. And I'll see you in my next video.